So this video is a continuation of my previous video where I shared how to create a cropped blazer. I made a matching skirt in the same material with sort of the same feel and aesthetic. It has a very vintage Chanel vibe. Like the two pieces together, that's what it gives off to me. But what I did was I made a matching mini skirt that buttons up the center front in this lovely sage green linen fabric. This skirt is lined so you know you're extra secure when you have it on. Is really short because I'm not a tall girl, but if you want to make yours knee length, midi length, or whatever your length you're comfortable with, you have the freedom to do so as well. I showed how to make the pattern in this video and then I went on to sew the skirt, so make sure to watch up until the end to see the full process. With that being said, let's get into this. In case you didn't know, the official Kim Dave merch is available to shop online, from polo shirts, jumper, bucket hats to tote bags. Make sure to check it out. Worldwide shipping is available and the jumpers come in unisex sizing. With that being said, let's get into this tutorial. These are the measurements you're going to be needing and they are here displayed on the screen. If you don't know how to take your own measurements, I have a video showing that already on my channel, so make sure to check that out so it gives you some kind of guidance. And I'm going to be starting off with making the pattern for the front of the skirt, and I have some paper here. I'm going to be drawing in a horizontal line which will become my waistline, and then a line perpendicular to that which will become my center front edge. Now along this center front edge, I'm going to be marking the distance from my waist to my hip and then my desired skirt length. Because I want it mini, it is really short. Now along the waist, I'm going in to mark a quarter of my waistline plus 1 inch, which is going to be for my waist dart, and I'm marking that dart halfway along the waistline like so. Next up, I'm going in to mark a quarter of my hip measurement along the hip point, and then I'm going to be squaring that across so I have my hip line in place. And the next thing I'm doing in here is marking a quarter of my skirt hem width. It is slightly tapered in along the hemline, and I would say it just gives it a really nice chic fit along your hips. So after that, I'm going in to connect the points to create my side seam. So I'm connecting my waist to my hip and then the hip point to the hemline of the skirt. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drawing in the front waist dart. So I marked the middle point of the dart, and then the dart is roughly 12 centimeters or 5 inches long, and I'm just drawing in the dart shape like so. So the next thing I'm going to be doing in here is I'm going to be lifting the side of the waistline by about 1/2 inch along that edge. That's just going to let the skirt sit a lot nicer on the waistline, and with that we have our front skirt plan done. So the next thing I'm doing in here is I'm extending that center front edge by 3 centimeters or 1 inch, and I'm going to do that again so I have enough extension to create a folded placket where my buttons and buttonholes will be. So that is going to be a fold line like this, and after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and add a 1 centimeter seam allowance all the way around and a 3 centimeter hem allowance on the bottom of the front skirt. So now that we have the front done, I'm just adding any annotations, add my grain lines and any other information I'll need, and I'm going to be creating a front skirt lining pattern. The front lining is essentially the same shape. The only difference is it has a 1 centimeter hem allowance and a 1 centimeter seam allowance on that center front edge. So now that we have our front skirt lining done, you need to cut 2 pieces for this, one for the left and one for the right hand side. We have our front skirt patterns done. Now moving on to the back. For the back, I'm just going in here to trace off the front, the waist, the hem, the sides, the darts, and every other necessary information. The difference between the front and the back is the back dart is 10 centimeters or 4 inches tall, which means it's slightly shorter than the front. So for the back, we're going to be cutting it on a fold, so that means you would not need to add a seam allowance on that center back edge, just a side seam and your hem allowance to ensure that you can connect it to the front panels of your skirt. So now that we have our back done, I'm going to be using this back skirt plan to create the back lining. For the back skirt lining, I'm just going in here to trace off the center back, the waistline, the side seam, the darts, and the difference between the back skirt and its lining is the lining has a 1 centimeter hem allowance compared to the main piece that has a 3 centimeter hem allowance. So I'm just going in here to write down any necessary information I need on the pattern before going ahead to cut out all the pattern pieces, ready to cut my fabric and ready to join together. So these are all of the pattern pieces you need. You have our front with the extension, which would house our buttons and buttonholes. We have the front lining, we have the back and the back lining as well. And with these already in place, I'm going to go ahead and grab my fabric. The fabric I'm going to be working with is the same fabric I use for the crop blazer, which is this really nice soft green linen fabric that is really breathable and soft on the skin for the summer. I also got some cream lining material to go with the linen. For the buttons, I picked these that has a hint of gold because it just had a really nice like zazz to it. But next thing I'm going to be doing is cutting out my skirt pieces. I pinned down all of my pattern in place. I'm going to cut out my front and my backs, and after cutting them out, I'm going to go in and cut my notches, especially the ones for my dart and the ones that would help me know where to fold that front extended point to create the placket for the buttons. So these are all of the skirt pieces cut out. The one thing I did was I fused the extended area of that front with some interfacing, so that gives the placket a lot of stability. I have my back skirt and my lining pieces here as well. And with all these cut out, it is actually time to sew. So the first thing I always like to do when it comes to sewing is just getting rid of any darts if I have any on the piece. And I'm just transferring the dart from my pattern onto my fabric on the wrong side. Pin that in place for the front and for the back, so I know I have to just stitch these up because they're already marked and pinned. I also went ahead to repeat the same thing for my lining pieces for the front and for the back pieces as well. And then I'm going to be taking this to my machine and stitching up all the darts for the main skirt and for the lining pieces. Now I'm just sewing in using a normal straight stitch, remembering to do my reverse stitch at the beginning and at the end. With all the darts stitched in place, I have put right sides together of my front pieces to my back, and I'm going to be joining the side seams together. This I'm going to be doing for the main skirt and for the lining pieces. So I'm just sewing from the top all the way to the bottom, and because you get in and out of the skirt with buttons, you don't need to think about zips on the side or on the back of the skirt. After stitching all that in place, I went ahead to iron all of my seams off camera to relax all of the tension in the fabric. And now that we have the main skirt and the lining pieces ready to be connected, I am going to be putting them together along the waist and along the hem. So I'm just grabbing my main skirt piece and I'm putting right sides together of the lining to the main piece. So I'm going to be using some pins just to hold them down, and because the lining panel is slightly shorter, you should have a little bit of a curve along the hem. So I'm going to be sewing along that hem and along the waistline, joining my lining to my main skirt. So now I'm just sewing on a 1 centimeter seam allowance all the way across, making my way till the end, and I will do this for the top and the bottom of the skirt. And when I am done stitching like this, I'm actually going to go back in and sew the lining to the seam allowance of the seams, whether that's on the waist and on the hem. This is going to force the lining to stay inside of the skirt when you have it on like it looks here. I gave it a nice press to relax all of the stitching, and it already looks so nice and so beautiful. The other thing I did off camera was I folded and I pressed down the extended ends on the front. So I folded it once to create that nice and clean edge on the front. Then I folded in again by 1 centimeter along the edge, because that's how we're going to be stitching it down on the inside. So you want to pull the lining out in such a way that it overlaps the edge of your interfacing, and then when you fold over the panel that becomes the placket, it is going to catch the lining on that inner end. I'm going to be sewing from the bottom along the front and along the waistline, and I'm going to do this for the left and for the right hand side using a very close to the edge stitch. Now, because that fold is ever so skinny and ever so slim, I had to just put down some pins to prevent it from unfolding, even though I had already pressed it before stitching it down like this. But you essentially sew from the bottom along the front, and then you turn towards the waistline or the hemline if that's the direction you're sewing in, and give it a nice press after you are done. So this is what the front of the skirt is looking like. I find this to be one of the easiest ways to just create plackets on the front of skirts or shirts. Just extend it, fold it back in, and top stitch it down. So once you're done with that, you can go ahead and mark your button and your buttonholes on the front of your skirt. Because I wanted 5 buttons, I spaced up my buttons by about 3 to 3.5 inches, and then I marked on this side, because this side is where my buttonholes are going to be, and then on the other side I went ahead to stitch down my buttons. So I'm going to take this in my machine, and because my machine comes with a buttonhole footer, I knew I could do this at home. I just went ahead to create a buttonhole that was wide enough for my buttons. I have a separate tutorial where I showed how to work this on the Brother LS14 if you haven't seen it already. Now the last thing I'm going to be doing is hand stitching in my buttons. I'm just going to work my way from the bottom all the way to the top till I have all of my buttons stitched in place. So once you're done stitching down your buttons, you can go in and cut open the buttonholes. I say cutting it down with a blade like this gives you a much nicer finish than using a scissors. With that, your piece is complete, and this is what the finished skirt looks like. Mine turned out a little bit big along the waist, so I say if you want it to fit a lot more tighter, you can go back in and take away any excess. But aside from that, everything else turned out really, really nice. I'm happy with the fact that I chose to work with linen. It means that this is a piece that when I wear when it's hot, I would not be hot in the piece. I hope that made sense. But if you enjoyed watching this video, do let me know in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up as well. Share it with your sewing community or anyone who you think would enjoy it or find it useful. It's super easy to make and very beginner friendly. And until my next video, have a good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are. Bye.